Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Sansing, and I'm here to interview Mr. Ed Bennett again. Mr. Bennett's going to run for the Del Mar College Board of Regents. There are two positions open. There are 6 candidates so far, and I just wanted to let you know that he is a CPA, master's in accounting and so forth, and knows what he's talking about. And I've, for a number of years, as you all know out there, had my own show, South Texas News and Reviews, on the Public Access 10 channel here, Public Access on the cable. And Ed is now airing these until the election on November 4th. So I'd like to have him tell you a little bit about the cost that Del Mar College has for teaching students, or I guess per hour or whatever.
Thank you, Doctor. It's what I've got. I've been trying to do some research on the budget and how much it actually costs to educate a student over there at Del Mar. As you know, we've been attending most of the Del Mar board meetings for a year, and they have, it looks like an award presentation when we go to a board meeting, and then there's some financial information that's dispensed by Dr. Lee Sloan. I think he's got an EED.
Yes, and agricultural education.
And I can't find that he's ever had an accounting course, and he's their chief financial officer. So he's dispensing the financial information, and I have never heard a penetrating question asked by any board member. So I'm thinking, is $300,000 a day for every business day of the week for the entire year, is that such a small amount that nobody needs to ask a question of the CFO? And so I've done some research. And I've tried to get information from the college. I've not been, well, to say I've not been successful would be a misnomer. The last letter I got, which there had been a correction sent to after we made a phone call to the Attorney General, but the last letter I got from them for some general ledger printouts, which would not have any redactable information in it. They wanted $127 million for that information. They wanted to provide me with 105 million pages of information, but they wanted to take 500 man years to redact it. Well, I don't have the 127 million. I don't have the 500 man years to wait.
26.7.
I'm sorry.
It was 105 million documents.
You're right.
Yeah, it was just,
The numbers are astounding.
Just a paltry $26,700,000.
So I'm not getting any information from them. So I've been doing research through publicly available information, either information that they dispense or that I find on the internet. And quite honestly, Bill and Melinda Gates have a foundation that publishes a lot of very wonderful statistics. For instance, for every full-time equivalent student, the average community college spends $9,501. That's annually. Well, Del Mar has been spending, according to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which I suspect they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Del Mar spends $12,368 for the same basic education, but the U.S. average is $9,501. Now, that's a pretty substantial difference.
Yes.
In round numbers, that's a third.
Mm-hmm.
So we're spending a third more. Now, does that mean that we are inefficient to the tune of 1/3 of that budget? Which, if you divide 80 million by 3, that's a big number.
Yeah.
So any way you calculate it, it's a huge number.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it costing us at Del Mar so much more than the average U.S. college to educate a student?
I don't know. That's the first I'd heard about it. I don't know where to find those numbers. That's why I'm just so pleased that Mr. Bennett's going to run for the regent spot there, so he can get into that and start asking the pertinent questions. And I think what triggered a lot of this, Ed, was we went to a workshop once, and the CFO over there, Dr. Sloan, said that on some bad debts, they were doing everything in the world they could to collect that money. And then that's what triggered an awful lot of this information. So I went through and asked for all the records for 10 years on bad debts and so forth and write-offs, and got a 5-foot stack of paper that Ed and I went through. Unredacted, you know, and we were just astounded that Del Mar College is really just a cash cow for people that want to come in. They borrow money on different loan programs and so forth, and then walk off and don't pay them. And I also had asked for the green cards, which is the return receipt from the post office that you normally do if you want to get someone's attention, and any lawsuits or anything that were filed, and we found absolutely nothing. And I'll let Ed tell you about the $185,000 third-party write-offs.
In that 5-foot stack of documents, we did locate 3 very relevant documents. They were the journal entry, which was 2 pages, and the support or the memo authorizing the write-off of third-party bad debt to the tune of in excess of $185,000, including Texas A&M Kingsville, about $54,000, Council of Government, $89,000. The memo was initiated by Dr. Sloan and signed off by Dr. Escamilla. So they know that they wrote off third-party bad debt. It's documented. Now, I sent a PIA, based on your recommendation, to Texas A&M Kingsville. They know nothing about it. That concerned me. And then I wondered, we asked for all the lawsuits, but I wanted to clarify it to make sure that we'd gotten all lawsuits. So I sent another PIA in. I said, I need all lawsuits filed from January 1, 2003 till today to collect accounts receivable. It came back with 0. So they're not filing lawsuits. If somebody owed me $54,000 and they didn't pay, I would file a lawsuit.
Sure.
As would any reasonable person.
Yeah. Well, that's taxpayers' money, folks. That's down the drain. Now, there is another possible explanation for that, but I'm not going to get into that at the moment. Now, we had received that 5-foot stack of papers. I'd asked for 10 years worth of information. And then that took us through August of 2013. So then I wanted to update that, and back in May, it's been that long. So I said I'd like to have updates of that, and that's when I was told that no, we're going to have to redact this and so forth, and I can't top $26.7 million that you did, but they want $641 from me to have what should have been redacted in the first group, I guess. I'm not sure. But they say that they're going to have to photocopy a bunch of stuff and redact students' names and credit card numbers and everything else under the sun. And that I'm going to have to pay for their ability or requirement to do that. Now, I've got a little bit of different verbiage and information from the Attorney General's office. I'm not so sure they backed that up. And I've been told that the letters that they got from the Attorney General's office were going to be mailed to me a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't seen anything, which is not surprising to me.
But if they had to redact this time, then they would have had to redact that 5-foot stack.
Right.
So one way or the other, they violated some law.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, why can't we just admit that we've screwed up and get it over with? But that's just not what Del Mar does. And then they turn around and expect me to trust them with this, that, and the other. And I'm going to be totally honest on the air with you and everybody else. I don't trust them for anything. I really don't. My trust is gone. It's out the window. So.
And it's, at this point, it's all about fiduciary responsibility in my mind.
Right.
Nobody's asking any questions. It's $300,000 a day. I'm looking at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation calculations, and Del Mar is way out of line. Not only with the cost per student, but the debt per student. Mm-hmm. Right now, they've got about $100 million in bonds outstanding. If there's 10,000 students, that's $10,000 a piece. We don't know how many students there are because there's a lot of dual credit students who don't even set foot on that campus. So, and that wouldn't, there's no debt required for a student that doesn't set foot on the campus. But they've got basically $10,000 per student debt right now. They want to, or they originally wanted to float a bond for $287 million at 10,000 students. That's an additional $28,700. So that would put it up to over $38,000 debt per student, which is astronomically out of line from any other community college in Texas. Some community colleges have $682 per student debt. Doctor, let's continue this at another time. I think we've got more to talk about.
Okay.
I appreciate your coming by today.
Okay, thank you.